Baseball rivalries and spring break tournaments take center stage as teams look to improve and get some victories for the after spring break surge. Welcome to Sports Wire. I'm Will Catterley. After a crazy day of weather on Thursday, one East End rivalry moved to Monday when Highland Springs played host to Varina. These two schools have already had stellar sports years, both with a basketball state title and Varina with a football state championship. Now the two schools faced off on the diamond. So to Highland Springs High School we go for this classic rivalry, Highland Springs and Varina. Eli Tillman on the mound gets the strikeout right there. First inning action, then gets him on the corner. Started off this game well, had to escape a few moments, but he had it going. On the other side, trying to make things worse. He hits it to third. Double play for the Varina Blue Devils from third to first. Two men on, using a little defense to do the job. Next inning, still no score. Could change. Varina with a steal, it would lead to this. Ground ball through the hole, it's a base hit. Jabril Bullock drives home the run with an RBI single as number 11, Brady Barrett, comes in to score. It's 1-0 Blue Devils. But Highland Springs and their pitching staff would settle down afterwards. Eli Tillman gets a strikeout, limits the damage to 1 run. That would be a big deal because the Springers' bats came to bat, as a matter of fact. Next inning, that's all the way to the fence. Smashed deep, and number 13 had himself a game. A.J. Bullock, designated hitter, with a 2-bagger would lead to this. Trevor Zitta, he can hit a. 1 run comes in. And Zitta taking care of business, tying the score at 1. Springers not even done yet. Later, number 3, K.J. Davis, RBI ground out on fielder's choice. As number 2, Jay Hamil comes in. Still not finished batting in this. Sometimes you got to just make contact. Cannot get the out. Deep in the hole there between third and short. Zitta comes around to score. And then, help yourself, big man. Eli Tillman, the pitcher, driving in runs to boot. He gets 1 run. Here comes a second run. He'll come around and score. K.J. Davis crosses the plate. Big inning for Highland Springs and Eli Tillman. Still not finished. This is going to find a hole as well. A.J. Bullock driving home 2 more. Springers locked and loaded at this point and putting a crooked number on the board. Still not finished. Jay Hamill again. Base hit. Run scores. It's a merry-go-round of offense for Highland Springs, getting some ups as well as Henry Hazelgrove, the third baseman. They put an 8 spot up in the second. It's 8-1 Springers. Then back to Eli Tillman. Strikeout. Gets him right there. Later, Varina got something going, a man on base. That ball is scalded. Brady Barrett connects, but they gun out the runner trying to score from home to end the inning. So a chance for Varina to cut into that lead. Instead, Springers' bats are right back at it. Sometimes momentum just takes over in games. Brian McDonough, a base hit. Man coming around to score, number 9. Biggie Small-Smith, who had 2 hits on the afternoon. And again, put it in play. Wicked hop from Eli Tillman. Tillman living right. Gets a run to score. 10-1 at that point. And then it was a Tillman show. High cheese, strike him out, sit him down. And Highland Springs defense, offense, pitching, they had the best of it on this Monday afternoon. 11-1 is your final. Meanwhile, in the West End, Deep Run entertained several teams from throughout the Richmond area in their annual spring break tournament. And for the Wildcats taking on the Cosby Titans, this game went back and forth and needed extra innings to finally provide a victor. This would be a good one. Giovanni Briggs sidewinding thrower for Cosby on the mound. Doing Yeamans-like work against deep run low in the zone. Strike him out, sit him down. He gets Josiah Seguin to go down swinging. Meanwhile, countering with deep run. Low in the zone, strike him out, sit him down. Trey Gouch doing a nice job there. No score through 2 innings. Let's go to the third. Gouch back on the mound again. That ball is hit hard all the way in the left center field. Good for a single for Braden Simpson, and would lead to this. Ball hit deep. Now Simpson at third. Sacrifice fly gonna work for Cosby. And remember the Titans, they have a 1-0 lead after 2.5 innings of play, and no hits through 2 innings for deep run. Wildcats gonna fix that. That ball's hit high. It is far. It is gone. That ball will see ya next time. Will Porter pulls one to left center, and the Wildcats tie it up with the deep ball. We haven't seen the last of the deep ball either. 1-1 after 5 innings of play. Only 1 hit. It was a home run. Deep Run made the most of it. Later, this time, Caleb Dillon. I got it. I don't got it. That would be a big deal because Dillon on first base. Cosby chance to get out of the inning. Instead, this happens. Say hello to my little friend, Keon Garai. Got one. Boy, did he get hold of one. That ball will see ya next time. And Deep Run with a 2-run blast takes a 3-1 lead. So we go to the 7th and final inning, but you know baseball, folks, you've got to get every single out. Deep Run got the first 2 outs. They were 1 out away from winning it until number 5, Braden Simpson, multi-hit game for him, gets through with a single. Later, Will Porter on the mound now. That ball is laced to left. That's a base hit. Simpson coming around to score as Caleb Grizzard sends him home, and then Grizzard able to advance on the throw at the plate. Still no harm, no foul. 3-2 lead for Deep Run until Colin Hughes hammers one to deep center, left center I should say, all the way to the wall. That ties the game at 3. Tries to get the third. Deep Run gets the final out. So Cosby can't win it in the 7th, but they do force extra innings. We go all the way to the 10th. Still tied at 3. Deep Run number 34 on the mound. That ball is crushed. High and far and deep. It'll see ya next time. Colin Hughes, have yourself a game. Solo shot for Cosby, and that would be your difference. In 10 innings, Titans beat the Wildcats 4-3 the final. Well, it's a celebration at Glen Allen when we return as one boys volleyball star signs to play at the next level. Plus, we hit the circle for softball action as the Jags take on Tucker. Highlights are straight ahead.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah.
But I don't know where to start.
That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
Welcome back to SportsWire. To Glen Allen High School we go, where volleyball middle blocker superstar Dominic Wheaton and his head coach are having themselves a heck of a day. Coach Hoy helped instrument with Wheaton by his side as middle blocker, a state championship for the Jaguars. So Wheaton, as a senior, not only goes down as a state champion at Glen Allen, he also will sign on the dotted line to play for the Maroons of Roanoke College, their first year having a boys volleyball collegiate team.
Back when I was a freshman, I didn't know a single thing about volleyball. And to just grow and develop and learn with these guys and just become the best person I can be and have a chance to even get better at the sport, it's just such an amazing thing. And it's just such a great feeling.
Nice day for the Jaguars all around on Wednesday because let's go to softball. This game played on Wednesday evening. Tigers on the road against the Lady Jags. Number 33 with a base hit, Peyton Simmons. They put the ball in the bat, did the Jags in this one. Number 3, Taylor Cochran, returner from last year, drives home. Simmons, 1-0 Jags. Jags not finished, not by a long shot. That ball's a little high. A runner's going to come around to score. She just gets in safely in the form of Alyssa Maharg, and it's, well, 2-0 Jags. Jags down the line. That's a fair ball. Kaylee Garner drives home Cochran, and the Jags are here to eat early and often. That ball gonna be a find your hole ball. Just seeing eye single, I guess. Hey, it works. Living right. Kaylee Garner comes around to score. Then right back where it came from. Meredith Collier drives home a run. 6th spot in the first inning for Glen Allen. Meanwhile, Jags on the mound, looking good. Strike him out, sit him down. Here she is again. High cheese. It's been a long time since they've had a different pitcher besides Emerson Aiken. But Grace Tharp was doing her thing just fine in the circle. Strikes out the side for the Jags. Meanwhile, the bats did not stop working. Neither did the patience at the plate. Looks at the high ball there for ball 4. Lead to this. It's a shot to the hole. Can't quite corral it at first. Nice play at third. Tough play at first. That drives home a run. Who was at third base. They add on one more in the second. It's 7-0 Jags. More Jags. That one eats up the shortstop. So Glen Allen continuing their offensive onslaught at home and not finished either against Trujillo on the circle for this one. That's a base hit. Jags putting up the hits and putting up the numbers in this one. This one absolutely clobbered. It is high. It is far. It is off the foul pole. It is gone. That ball will see you next time. It's a round tripper as Kaylee Garner uncorks one to left. The Jaguars take a huge lead at this point. A 10 spot all day over Tucker. Jags still not finished. Base hit by Meredith Collier. She had a multi-hit afternoon. That made it 11-0. At that point, Jags going to add on where that came from in the 5th. Double odd 0. Kieran Ryder was not wrong. Smart move by her. Good play on the base paths to turn that into a double. And what most players would have just sat at first base as a single. Led to this. That ball is hit high and far, and Becca bashes one. Run comes in to score. Glen Allen emptying their bench at this point, so they would all have some of the bench get some opportunities. That ball, off the pitcher. She'd be okay. Run would come in. It was, obviously on this night, too much Glen Allen. 14-0 is your final. It's back to baseball when we come back. Deep Run looks to get back in the win column against Caroline. Plus, baseball these days are offering big-time money to younger and younger arms. How 3 Glen Allen pitchers are working extra hard to add a little extra velocity to attract the pros and enhance their budding careers. I'll explain next.
Here's another 2-minute history report.
When you think about wars fought here in America, there's the Civil War, and of course the American Revolution. But what do you know about the one in the middle, the War of 1812? In the early years of building our nation, European countries viewed the U.S. as weak. The Army was small and the Navy had little respect. Great Britain was regularly declaring impressment, forcing sailors from random ships into joining their Royal Navy. In 1807, the USS Chesapeake was attacked by Britain's HMS Leopard near the coast of Virginia. Facing little resistance, the Leopard took 4 prisoners, but the incident triggered a series of embargoes between the two countries. Tensions grew when the U.S. expanded west, and Britain supported the Indians. Finally, with influence from Henry Clay and John Calhoun, 2 warhawks from the House, James Madison declared war on Great Britain.
This means war!
It began with the U.S. attacking Canada, part of the British Empire, and the Brits capturing portions of Michigan. Battles on American soil and waters continued for the next 2 years. Then in August of 1814, British General Robert Ross attacked America's capital, and Washington burns. Luckily, Dolly Madison, the very brave First Lady, saved George Washington's portrait from the flames. Then the British launch a 25-hour attack on Fort McHenry in Baltimore. Witnessing the event, Francis Scott Key is inspired to write a poem that later becomes the famous Star-Spangled Banner. Finally, the Treaty of Ghent is signed. The war ends, and neither side loses land to the other. Word traveled pretty slow in those days, and the U.S. wins the Battle of New Orleans even after peace is declared. This makes General Andrew Jackson a major pop star of the day. So here it is in a nutshell. There was a big bully off the Virginia shore, so Warhawks declared that it was time for war. There's 2 years of fighting with the White House in ruin. Dolly saved George, and we got a new tune. No major changes, boundaries stayed the same, but one soldier won by gaining national fame.
That's the War of 1812 in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Sports Wire, back to Deep Run High School. 10 a.m. start for this one. Caroline and Deep Run. Deep Run already putting up 2 runs for the road team in this one, I should say. 2 runs in the top of the first. Great defense here. The bunt to get the man out at first. The lead runner tried to get all the way to third. Instead, it's a double play. They get out of a jam. Still 2-0. This guy settled down after giving up 2 runs early. Number 15. Braden Hartzell. You'll have to sell me on him. He had some good cheese. Gets a strikeout there. No damage. Back come the Wildcats on the mound. Number 14 looking good. He got the strikeout you saw there. And then later, well, Cavaliers came to play. Runner on. That's an RBI single. We are all square tied up at 1 apiece as number 24 does the damage. It is Trip Luriano. Wildcats would get out of trouble and maintain their 2-1 advantage to the third. Deep Run looking to add on. High cheese, strike him out, sit him down. Another K, and then Caroline on the comeback trail. That ball, well, that dog will hunt. It's good for an RBI base hit by Adam Pitts. 21 comes around to score, and Adam Tatham. And then the runner at third on this wild pitch, he's going to score as well. All of a sudden, Caroline, once down 2-0, they have the lead. New pitcher comes in, strike him out, sit him down. Big one for number 1 for Deep Run, Parker Noonan. 3-2. Caroline, though, after 3. Deep Run, though, not done. No, not by a long shot. Ooh, it ate up the third baseman. That's going to go as a hit and stretching it to a 2-bagger. Number 15, Shepard Munson. Nice work by him. Then that would lead to this. Gets past the first baseman. That's an RBI base knock Wildcats in business, Eli Messenger. Message was sent, sealed, and delivered. High cheese, stealing second. He had him, but the ball came out, and the runner at third comes across the score. So, 4-3 at that point. Wildcats looking to add on later. That ball's down the line, a fair ball. Keon Gari does it again. He was a star against Cosby, even though they came out on the losing end. Boy, that guy can hit. Down the line for a base hit, a lot of power. Now 5-3, Wildcats. Deep run, not finished. They're going to add on. That ball is smoked. That'll find a spot nowhere near a fielder. Absolutely crushed to left for a base hit, a two-bagger for Grant Turner. Would lead to this. A strikeout, yes. Runner stealing second. Runner from third. Turner, he turns on the Jets, comes home. Wildcats increase their lead. Still not finished. Whew. I thought that hit the pitcher for a second. Almost did. Instead, it goes out to center field for a base knock. Good for another RBI. Wildcats would take over in this one late. Josiah Seguin doing the damage. And then Seth Lahak. That's good for a base hit. Another run comes around to score. Wildcats would take a 9-3 lead before it was all said and done, because number 4 coming up right here, Cameron Rizzo. I don't know if he's related to Anthony Rizzo, but he does drive home a run like Rizzo can in Yankee pinstripes. As I said, Wildcats put up a crooked number on the board, took a 9-3 lead. They win it 9-4 final. When it comes to baseball, we've seen and covered plenty of pitchers at the high school level who've made it to the major leagues. Deep Run's Deck McGuire and Freeman's Daniel Lynch are just two that come to mind. But a trio of Glen Allen pitchers are looking to bump up their stock and talent, so at the very least they get better, and maybe, just maybe, they attract some MLB scouts of their own, all using a relatively new program based right here in Richmond. 3 Glen Allen pitchers have been going the extra mile to get better.
88-1-2.
Every Wednesday night and Saturday morning, Ethan Hudson, Jaden Kinsler, and Mitchell Bales
There you go. Reach.
work out at the Backyard Baseball Lab, a small gym at Charles City Circle in Eastern Henrico.
We're at the Backyard Baseball Lab. This is where we do our lifting, our throwing, pretty much anything baseball related.
Working hard, just lifting every day, arm care every day, a lot of mobility stuff, got to be flexible.
It helps us keep our arm healthy and feeling good all year round.
And they have one major goal in mind: velocity.
It's helped me a lot. I've gained, 5-6 miles an hour to my top velo.
81-9.
I'm aiming for 90s. I'm trying to throw 90s by the time I go to college. I topped 87, so I'm kind of close, but not really at the same time.
This day and age, velocity is king, especially when it comes to MLB scouts. So getting the extra mile or 2 or 5 makes all the difference in the world.
If you're hitting 94 as a righty, scouts are interested in you. If you're hitting 92 as a lefty, scouts are interested in you. If you get drafted out of high school, changes your life, man.
For Major League Baseball scouts, it's a buyer's market. After all, their superstars make millions of dollars per year. Why not get in on the ground floor with some of these young high school pitchers who are throwing faster and faster and faster?
83-4.
And these times, we're just in warm-ups.
80.6.
Nowadays, everybody's throwing 90. You see high school kids throwing 95, 96. It's pretty common now. So, you got to get up there and put yourself in an advantage to get the most attention possible.
They want you to throw 95, draft you, and then you can be like, oh, by the way, I'm a knuckleballer. Just tell them. Just like every other knuckleballer that ever actually became a knuckleballer. The Rays said his stuff was decent for the weather.
Joshua Kyle Bogies has been a part of baseball most of his life, playing for the Diamondbacks and abroad. His pitching career came to a close early after a car accident injured his throwing shoulder. Now he's giving back to pitchers across the 804.
On the early ones, right? Like the bounces.
My whole thing is to help people play as far as they can in baseball. because that was my goal, and I just kind of want to, like I said, impart that on them, you know what I mean?
Bogey started the Backyard Baseball Lab back in 2020. Most of his customers have come from word of mouth. And his training is mostly about the little things, or the little muscles.
The cool thing is, when you take care of your arm and do the arm care stuff, you build up little muscles in your shoulder that are weak.
Push, push, push. Come on. Come on.
Bogies even has an app for that.
Relax. Switch arms.
It helps us keep track with, how strong our arm is, what improvements we made, if we've lost any strength. That goes along with our bands and our hip stuff we do.
The arm care app, by being able to test their strength and see where they're deficient in muscle, we now know, okay, this person needs to work a lot more on external rotation to build up that brakes, because the body, by how it's built, naturally will not allow you to accelerate faster. Or if we only worked on internal, right? This is getting stronger, we're gonna throw harder, but you're gonna hurt your arm. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important to do the arm care routine stuff.
Now we compared the strength of your throwing arm to your non-throwing arm as a baseline to assess the...
And as this Glen Allen trio gets stronger, their opportunities grow larger.
When a pro scout shows up to anything, they have three things, right? A clipboard, a stopwatch, and a radar gun. If it wasn't important, why would they bring the radar gun? If you throw harder, you get more chances. It's just a fact. The guys who throw harder get more chances.
And it certainly can't hurt these Jags this season or come college time.
Everybody has that day, right? That day when the world says you can't play baseball anymore.
But Bogies can still teach it, and these young men are just getting started.
The Backyard Baseball Lab has a variety of young pitchers across Richmond already making big-time gains. One rising freshman in the South Side actually increases velocity by 10 miles per hour. Just a few added ticks to the gun can mean tens of thousands of dollars in early contracts and better college scholarship opportunities as well. Nice to see these Jags' hard work, by the way, paying off. Remember, if you have questions or comments about the show, just send me an email to this address, sportswire@henrico.k12.va.us. And you can always follow us on Twitter. I can't wait to see ya next time on SportsWire.